Hello, my peeps. Sorry, my computer is just doing weird things. I just want to make sure it's actually live. Because, yeah, weird things. Normally there's like a two-step process to log into, to get into like the YouTube thing. Oh, it says live. But today there was only one, so I accidentally hit the wrong button because somehow the first step was missing, but I don't even know why. It baffles me sometimes. So, hello, people. Tracey here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, friendly neighborhood paper pusher. Can't say that very well tonight. It's Tuesday, the 11th of February. I literally just typed that date in. You think I would know? Let's just see here. I'll just scroll that up a little bit so I can actually see. Okay. So things are going on. I have a lot of little things going in every which way. I did order one of the two new kits. Actually, I've ordered both of the two new kits, but I ordered at midnight because there was other stuff I needed to get. And I had to make sure I was like first in line. And the one kit was not available. Unfortunately, it was available at 8:30 the next morning. So a couple days later, I put in a second order. Oops, why is my thing freaking out on me again now? I put in a second order. So I have one kit, but not the second kit. But the one kit I have, I think is going to be awesome. So I was trying, there's so many things I was trying to do, but some things are just not going my way. But let's see how things go. I'm going to do a recap. Okay, so you may have seen, I did this when I first started doing social media. When I think right about the time I first retired. So we're going on almost 4 years ago now. I used to have different Monday challenges, and I quite enjoyed them. And it was hit or miss on whether other people did, I think. I didn't get a lot of interaction, but I quite like doing them. And I thought, you know what? There's a whole different group of people watching things now and doing things now. And I'm going to give it a shot because I quite enjoy them. And we'll just see if it might be something for the new folks. So it started out, it was going to have a different name, actually. But as I was typing, I was in a really good mood on Monday morning. And I was typing and I was like cracking myself up, making jokes and things. And I put, your mission, should you choose to accept it. And as soon as I did that, I was like, oh my goodness, we got to change the name of it. So then it became Mission Monday, because it's not Mission Impossible. These are all like easy little tasks that I'll show you. But then I just love this dude. Just cracked me up. So, and I do love Canva, as you've noticed. So I'm actually getting pretty good at Canva. So it really didn't actually take that long to whip up a thing. So every Monday I'm going to post something, and it's going to look like I'm going to use it. All this is going to be the same. The date will change and what's in the middle will change, but this is going to be the graphic. So you can get used to seeing my little mission of my little dude. I tried to have him with a gem in his hand and it looked like he was putting a gem on the card, but it just looked like a big blob. It didn't translate. So, but anyways, it's cute. So the first one up is a sketch challenge. Love a good sketch challenge. And the funny thing is you can get sketch challenges from all over the place. I also, excuse me, like I keep a little note by my, I can't do this because I think it's got people's names on it. Anyways, I have like little scratch things. They're all over the desk. Oh, here's another one. Here's a good one. So I saw this layout, and unfortunately I didn't write down who, or they didn't put their name on it, because usually if there's a name on it, I will. So this is like a really pretty scrapbook layout. I really quite like it. So I wrote it on a little sticky note. And so one day I'm going to go and do this. Now, if it had a name on it, then I could say, hey, I got this based on a layout from. This was written on a scratch piece of paper, which I was going to save to show you because it was horribly drawn, but I don't even know what I did with the paper. So I saw a card I liked. And I do remember not actually liking the card, like the colors and the paper and stuff. It was like, meh. But I really liked the layout and I liked the way it looked. So I just quickly drew down like this. I didn't have sentiment or anything. I just drew the basics of it. So then when I went to, so now I know when I go to make a card, I'm like, oh, here's a cool layout I could try. So that's really how it started. And we've done this before, but just to give you a hint, here's one of the cards. Like I said, I have so much fun with this. I usually end up making like 3 or 4 or 5 cards or projects or whatever's. But this is the first card I made. And I don't know if I can get you to, this is one of the new embossing folders. Something waves, soft waves, maybe it's called. Oh my goodness, do I ever like it. I cut the piece in half so I can show you this piece because it actually is better. Oh my God, it's so pretty. But anyways, so this is my take on this sketch. 2 elements, a sentiment, some things, a thing, right? Boom. Sketches can go anywhere. And you know what? Honestly, other than this folder, which I wanted to try, so I like just embossed a piece of paper so I could see what it looked like. All of these other pieces were left over from something else that were sitting on my desk. So that's why that was the quick first one. But there I have other ones, but I'll show you. So on Friday, I'm going to post a Mission Monday upload, and I'm going to post pictures of my cards, and then you can post picture of your cards, and then we can all look at cards. And sometimes it'll be colors, and sometimes I have the cool dice that tell you what your card should be made, like the 5 elements. So we're going to do that. But just so you know, I'm going to try this out again because it's usually lots of fun. And if nothing else, if you're at all stuck ever, take a challenge. Like pick one of these sketch challenges or a color challenge or something and just find a way to make it work. Because when you do, you'll be surprised. Sorry, I have all this stuff stuck to my clipboard. I'm trying to pull hard enough to get it out of the clipboard, but not hard enough to knock everything on the floor. Sometimes a challenge is just what you need to jolt you out of if you're stuck at all. So it gives you a good start. And once you get going, sometimes you never know where you'll end up. I've done stuff like this with a sketch challenge. And by the time I'm done, it doesn't even, you wouldn't even know that's what I started with. So, these are in no particular order. So I think I'm just going to go with that because I realize now I have another little note as things were coming up this week. I was writing things down, but we'll just go with this. So this was the original schedule I put out a few weeks ago. It was in the newsletter, and I'm pretty sure I posted it on Facebook, but if nothing else, it was on the newsletter, which is the source to go to. Always be subscribed. That's the best way to get stuff. And I'm looking, I might have to make some changes to a couple of these. But I also put a survey out to get some answers. One on scrapbooking, which is new, and I just need to flesh out some information so it works for everybody. So that survey is due on Friday. Friday at noon. I think I put noon. Anyways, Friday, because I got to start making some decisions. I sent another one out that I put in a little bulletin on the weekend about classes, and it was just about date and time and projects and things like that. Also due on Friday. Really need that to get some feedback because some of these things left to my own devices, some of them are just going to be canceled because I'm not getting registrations for them. And I'm trying to figure out what I need to change to get registrations. Like what do you guys need so that you'll want to come? And I have no problem with you telling me, I don't like that set. I don't like the cards. I wish it was this. I wish it was this date. I'm doing this for you. So you have to tell me what I need to do because right now it's just not working. The ones, the Saturday kit togethers at the Fossil, those continue to be popular, and those are going to just keep trucking along. But, and I have a couple other things. I have my OG group that I do a couple times a year, and we have our extravaganza and other things like that. But these monthly crafting things, they're right on the cusp right now. So we need to see. The first one is the 2nd of March. Oh, that was the new. Oh, I got some of my online exclusives. I'm going to wait till next week for that. Celebration. You know, I love Celebration, but I am getting a little tired of like repeating myself about it. You guys all know, right? There's a great join offer. There's a great deal if you get like your paper pumpkin prepaid. There's so many good things about Celebration right now. And there's only a few weeks left. And I will tell you, so when I buy paper, I put it in these fancy little things here. I'm going to move that out of the way so you're not distracted. Oh, I just realized I didn't put a new one. The Bloom Impressions. I want to say it's called Bloom Impressions. The Bloom Impressions paper. I saw it, and my inner flower child just went, "Oh my goodness, I love that." It's on low inventory, so it's almost gone. And because it's a Celebration paper, it won't come back. Like they rarely restock things that are Celebration. Like while supplies last. So I rarely ever finish a pack of paper. I used a whole bunch of this one. This is the backside that makes the perfect sky and clouds and stuff. But it's got all these little flowers. And oh, my inner flower child was just singing with this stuff. So yeah, I've used almost my entire first pack. I luckily have a second pack. Anyways, yeah, but it's almost done. So if this was one of those things that was on your wish list and you're just waiting for something, just know that you might want to wait less and put in your order so that you can get that while it lasts. I put this down and realize now that that's the wrong one. So this was yesterday, right? So if you didn't subscribe to February, you're out of luck. Let me just find the picture. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm trying to look for a picture, and this poor woman that I know, and oh, she's got the worst luck. Trying to remember what to search. See, this is why I don't like Facebook. I don't go on it very often because it is wholly distracting, and I think I'm in the wrong thing. Oh, I'm in the right one. How come I can't find what I'm looking for? Oh, there you go. Right off the bat. Geez, technology, I tell you. Okay, so ignore that one. So these dies, which are the dies for, oops, this went to my demo site, not the one I wanted. There we go. For January, February, and March. And they are awesome dies. They were on my desk a second ago. I think I buried them. They're almost sold out. So they started doing this last year. I think this might be the 5th set. I think they had 4 last year, and then this would be the first. Yeah, I think there might be. These are the first ones that are going to sell out. Like the other ones, you can still get in the store. If you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can still go get them. But I think this little bee and this little hive that's in it, plus this big heart, like this heart is awesome. I think I showed you these ones before, but this was, like I said, I leftover stuff from Valentine's. It cuts out like a 2-part heart, right? It cuts out the inside heart and then an outside one, which the fun of it is you can mix and match. Oh, those are very loose. You can mix and match because that's where this came from. This was the die that comes with the Hearts of Elegance set and this awesome paper. But yeah, this one, so you can outline it, which in this case worked really well because I wanted white for the sentiment, but I didn't want like too much white on white. I like a bit of white on white, but I needed some color. Anyways, they're awesome dies. They're just about sold out. So that's the same thing. This March kit, which I'm trying to, there we go. This is all they have so far of the promo pictures, is going to be incredibly popular. As soon as, so today's the 11th, so I always wait like a day or two. So as long as the kits ship on the 12th, so I'll wait until like the 12th, maybe the 13th, and then I will up my numbers if I want to get more. Because as a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can get as many kits as you want. Actually, I think there is a limit, but it's something like 30. So I can go in afterwards and I can up my number of kits, and I will get full kits with the stamp sets and everything. Because if you don't subscribe right away and they sell out on kits, that's it. Like there's no chance. Generally, once the kit like goes to all the monthly subscribers, then the kits that go into the store afterwards are usually just the refill kits, which in a lot of cases is good. It means you get just all the consumables. You don't, because I mean, I don't need 4 of each stamp set and 4 of each ink spot. I just need 1, and then right. But I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to see this and they're going to be disappointed they didn't get it. So this time, it's possible I'm going to order a couple extras. If you want me to order one for you, let me know. If you want these dies, let me know, because they're not going to last very long. Because Demo's all got a sneak peek of this kit. I know what the 2 stamp sets are. I haven't seen them, but they describe them. So one entire one is sentiments. One has a big hive, like similar to this, only it's almost like a big background stamp. There's a bee builder stamp in it, so that means it's a couple pieces, so you'll be able to stamp like black and yellow, not just one stamp that you have to color. Like it's just going to be an awesome kit. The kit that was a few years ago is in August of 21, 22, 20. No, it must have been 21 or 20. Oh, I'm going to guess 22. She said, but I forgot what she said. That kit was so popular. It was absolutely beautiful. It had the same kind of like painted watercolor and stuff like that. Well, that's what this kit has, only it's got daisies and bees instead of sunflowers. It's going to be hugely popular. So get a prepaid subscription and rack in the celebration rewards, or sign up for a monthly subscription, or let me know. But the chances of this kit being done and having like a ton of extras, they probably ordered extras, but it's probably still not going to be enough. And as soon as it goes live on the website, the refills or whatever, I suspect they're going to sell out pretty quickly too. So if you want the March set, which I don't know, it's 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs. We haven't seen any of that stuff. We've just seen, actually, I know one of them has like a pop out in it. It has like a bit of a gold metallic-y hive on it, I think. They're going to be awesome. I know these cards are going to be awesome. But yeah, there's a limited time on getting that thing in. Oh, there's the picture. And the dies. Okay, so see, I didn't look at those things that closely. Okay, so this is the set I don't have yet. This is the one I do have. I'm very excited to look at this because I don't know if you remember me. I think I said it last time, but 8 original cards. So like all 8 cards are different. I'm not going to make all 8, but I'm going to show you how one of them goes together, and then I'm going to show you a cool case to carry them in. Okay, because I think they'll make a great gift, if nothing else. Like I know a person that I would think would really appreciate this, and I think it would make a perfect Mother's Day gift to get them. And depending on your mom, you could either, or whoever you're giving them to, you could either give them the kit, they could put it together, and then you could put it in the little folder, or you could put them together if it's somebody you know that wouldn't be their thing. And then you can put it in the nice little folder and give it to them, and then they have a ready supply of cards, right? It's just awesome. Okay, so yeah, the Saturday kit together. I got a couple new kits there. I got the rainbows from the celebration, which there are some seriously cute cards. I forgot to bring them last time, but I'm bringing them this time. There is a couple spots left. So if you are interested on the 22nd, do your registration, please. What did I do? Oh, there we go. And then this is the one that I need to know. And I need paid registrations by Friday because I have to order stuff for this. And I'm not just going to order on spec and hope that I get enough people. I need enough people by Friday to register and pay, and then I will order the stuff that I need. It's gonna be hours of prep, hours, but I'm gonna do it because it's gonna be so much fun. So this class, we're gonna make 4 fun fold cards. Plus with that, so you're gonna get DSP because it's got all the die cuts in it, which I don't know where I put them, not where they were last time. Plus you get embellishments. So you get a full pack of these, not my partial one with my little system that I use to keep my embellishments easy. And you're going to get a bunch of extra papers. So I'm going to take your half of your pack of DSP. I'm going to punch all the little die cuts out for you and put them in a little envelope, which I would show you if I had any idea where I put it. And then with that's one. So you'll get 5 other 12 by 12 sheets, and I will use those to prep all the papers for your cards. And then you'll still have a bunch left over. And I'm going to show you how to make different treat holders. So this is one of the treat holders. Oops, it's got a pen and a notepad in it, which I just pushed through the bottom. You can also make it. This is the same, the set of dies and stuff that come with this set. It's just different colors now because I use different paper. But these are basically the same thing. I'm just going to show you how you can make them and how you scale them in a couple different options. Like this is tabs folded in, tabs folded out, right? So that's one of them. And then you definitely want this in your arsenal. This is the diaper fold, and you can make this depending what you want to try to put in it. So I'm going to show you this one. And so these are 2. Where'd my other one go? You can make these. I will show you. This is the size I usually make, right? And I made a bunch of these for Valentine's treats, these 2 sizes. But I was curious. I'm like, what if I went one size smaller? I've never actually gone one size smaller. Look at this. And this is some of that beautiful paper that I love so much. It holds a lifesaver, like an individually wrapped one, so it's a little bit bulky in the packaging. But is that not adorable? Oh, so I'm going to show you how to make those. That's the treat holders. We're going to do that, and we're going to. So for the class is going to be sort of here. Let me show you how, because there's a few tricks to how to put things together. It's the same with these cards, right? There's the easy way to do it, and then there's the you'll be left to your own devices way to do it. But so this one and this one, they're actually. Because I'm going to do all the hours and hours of cutting all these little pieces of paper, putting them together is actually fairly easy. Once somebody tells you the easy way to do it, that's me. Look at this card. Is this card not phenomenal? Bandstand. So these are the 4 cards we're going to make. It's just, yeah, it'll be, and then you'll know how to do them for next time. And then you can cut your own million pieces. I think I forgot to show last time. This one pulls out, can either be a tag, or we're going to have this little die, which is an awesome little die that makes for holding a gift card. So that just sort of tucks in there. And that fancy little tuck-in spot makes this cool opening, right? So fun fold cards, 4 of them, and then the treats. Plus you're going to end up with, you'll have leftover papers and embellishments and even die cuts. Even making all of these samples. Plus, I made, here's a couple extra cards I made. I never used all the die cuts. So you'll have parts left over that you can use. Now, I realize that they tell you, I remember going to a training course something, and they said, in order to remember things, you need to be told 7 times. And that seems like a lot, but Friday is the deadline. Paid registrations. I need to have at least 4 people. I have 2 people who are interested, but I need like commitments so that I can order all this stuff and start all this prep. The deadline is Friday. Actually, it says the deadline is Thursday, but if you let me know by Friday, that's fine. The surveys are Friday. This is Thursday. Let me know this week if you're coming, so I know to get the stuff and start prepping. Let me look at my little sheet here. Monday surveys, birthday class, paper pumpkin, Loom impressions. Look at that, I covered everything. Okay, let's look at the first kit. I forgot what this kit was called. Just, yep, totally went out of my head. Heirloom, something about an heirloom Arrangements kit. Comes with a stamp set and ink spot. It is $32 and it makes 8 original cards. I took the wrapping off. That's why I couldn't just flip it over and tell you what it said, because this one was wrapped. Okay, move this stuff out of my way here. Okay, we have the pecan pie ink spot. And then I'll show you, it's got a stamp set, but I'll show you once I get into it. Get my right pair of scissors. Yes, if you're new to the program, I have scissors for everything. I do not like to mix and match. My paper scissors are for paper. My ribbon scissors are for ribbon. My adhesive scissors are for adhesive. And these ones are for packaging, because then it keeps all my scissors, you know, sharp for what they're intended. Okay, so this one comes with some tear and tape, my favorite adhesive. It's got its block to go with the stamps. We got some dimensionals. I wasn't sure in the picture if we had to stamp the envelopes or if they were stamped on their own, but because they look like they have the butterfly that's in the stamp. They did it half one way and half the other way, just to keep me there. Oh, there are 2 different ones. Okay, yeah. See on the picture here, I'll show you the picture in a second. There's like the little stuff in the corner, which is what the stamp set has. So these are blank on the front, but they have cool insides. 2 different cool insides. Let's just put those there for now. Okay, there's my piece of paper I was looking for. A weird noise outside. Okay, I'll find the English one. So this kit has 3 different ones. So I guess the kit is not available in Dutch because there's not a Dutch language. There is German, French, and English. Thankful and grateful. I appreciate your kindness. Thank you for you. I feel lucky to have you. And then we have the Flutterby and the little, this background stamps. You can never underestimate how many times you will use them. They are handy little things. Okay. So that is for our stamp set. Just get that out of the way. And then you can see, so these guys have great instructions, but you can see these pictures are a little bit better than they were on the website. But look how pretty these cards are. And each one of them is just a bit different. They all have different little die cuts. And so these instructions, which I will admit, most of the time I look at the picture and I just start. But they do have very good instructions. And it's just me that's, you know, me. But if you look at them, it will tell you for this card, which is card number 1, which looks like this. Here's all the pieces you want. Here's the order they go on. And it even shows you like which ones you're going to stamp and where you're going to stamp them. Somewhere down here. Oh, there's no embellishments. I was going to say it'll tell you how many embellishments, but that's right. There wasn't embellishments in this. You don't need embellishments. Look at all these amazing die cuts. Oh, and look at that. There's even better pictures of the big ones. So this is the ones I think on this page. And then, oh, yep, there's a couple more over there. So we have 1, 2. There's 8 cards. I don't know if I'm just confusing myself. No. See, this is why I don't look at the instructions, because they just confuse me. So there's 8 cards, 8 separate cards. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are not the 2. So you know what? I don't think, because I'm thinking it's not enough pages in here to show every single card. But what they've done is they've given you a sample of the 2 cards and how to do them right. So here's another picture that shows you all the pieces that go in it. And then on here, it walks you step by step through it. And then on here, it just gives you a really good blown up picture of it. So I guess they're assuming that you don't need step by step on every one of them. If they give you the first couple, then you'll be able to figure out how to do the rest. And they're right. Because honestly, really, if you just look at the pictures. And here's the best part. There's no law that says that you have to make it exactly the way it shows. So you can do whatever you want. But this way, if you're trying to make them exactly the way they show in the picture, I think some of these are different colors. These appear to be the pecan. Those have little pink cross hatching on them. But yeah, you could mix and match and do whatever you want. It's your kit. Oh, I absolutely adore that piece. Oh, and then these cards have like a blue kind of newsprinty background. Oh, got some sentiment labels. Oh my goodness, these die cuts are amazing. We got a couple pink. Okay, so we have 4 different backgrounds. Oh, you guys, you can't get the full. Oh, my camera's actually doing pretty good tonight. This is vellum. And oh, good Lord, those are pretty. Those are nice. But look at the die cuts. And there, my goodness, there's a lot of die cuts. Oh, a whole collection of flutterbies and flowers. Oh my goodness, there's a lot. Okay, well, let's just pick, I just want to pick one just to show you. Oh, these are so pretty. So if I was going to make this whole kit and I was going to make it the way the instructions told me to, I honestly would go to a different table, because right now I have like maybe not even a 12 by 12 square of clearance on my desk. And I would lay out all of these backgrounds, right? So I would lay out like all 8. So I'm starting 8 different piles of things, and then I would pick them. So in this case, we'll do this one because I don't have room to do all that. But I would lay them out, and then I would go around. And so this is one of them. I'm just going to close this up here a sec. I'm very particular about my cards being flat and even, and so I don't want to rush this step. I'll push over here. I've showed you guys this probably 10 times now, but I feel like it's important because, like I said, I like my cards. So I line up my corners and get everything labeled, and then put some pressure down. So this is particularly important if you have a card that has like a pattern just on the front. This pattern goes on both, so you could pick and choose, but that way everything lines up and there's no, like, I hate when the card is, like this. Can you see that? Right, I want mine straight. So I take the time to get my bone folder and line it up. And then, yeah, I guess in this case, you just got to decide which way. They're both pretty, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I would do that. And then I would go through and I would find all the pieces. Or you could take this, because if you have 8 piles out, you could take it and say, okay, this one goes on a blue base. I get to use one of the vellums on my card. Vellum is so pretty. That's good, because actually there's things you should know about gluing down vellum. Okay, so this one shows the vellum. 1 piece of vellum. Obviously, I'm not going to be lucky enough to have several pieces of vellum on my card. And I'm going to use one of these short little sentiments. So we're going to pop one of those out. The rest will for other cards. So I want one of those. And then it shows me I need a pink flag. Oh, I get to use this one too. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at all these pieces on this one card. All my favorites are coming up. I didn't look at them that close. They're all really pretty. So there's this one. So I don't need any of those. I do need this bundle. But yeah, either way. So this one, like I said, I'm just playing hunt and peck to find the ones that they show go on this card. But you could, like I said, if you pick this one up and went, okay, this one goes, oh, luckily on the next one, it goes on one of the pink newsprint backgrounds. I'll put it over there. This one, you have to look at the other pictures on here. This one goes, and just sort them all out. So by the time you're done, you will have 8 little piles with all your stuff on them. Because then if you want to, you can mix and match or change or do whatever you want. But at least that way you will have found all the pieces first before you start your card. But I can tell you, looking at this, each one of them has, well, those ones have three die cuts and I think that one might have 2 pieces of vellum. This one has die cuts and 1 vellum, 4 die cuts and a vellum. And then these ones have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. 4. I'm going to say there's at least 4, if not 5, die cuts on each one of these cards. So you're going to have lots of stuff. Now, I will tell you that Stampin' Up! Actually has a little challenge going this month. They do this every now and again with various different things. This might be the first time I've seen this particular challenge, but if you want, you can take the card bases and turn them into treat holders. Now, I think I've shown you several times now how to take envelopes and turn them into treat holders and how to take card bases and turn them into boxes. But if you want to see that again, just drop me a message or comment or whatever, and I will work that into one of the other ones. But a lot of times when people buy kits or like the paper pumpkin kits or even these kits, they do like to take them apart and make alternatives. Now this kit is primed for that because there are so many pieces on this kit. And this is that sort of bohemian vintage, layer a whole bunch of things on it. But you could easily cut this card base in half, trim it down a little bit, or leave it that size if you want, and adhere this to just like plain white card bases, and then use these cards. And instead of having 5 or 6 die cuts per card, you have 2 or 3 die cuts per card, maybe do a little bit of extra stamping or something, and you could very easily like extend this kit out into many kits because there's just so much stuff in here that's pretty. But look at it, that. So I got all the stuff I wanted. I put all those sheets on. There's still all these sheets of stuff. Like there's just so much stuff in this kit. Just amazing. Okay, so this is showing me. Okay. Oh, I've kind of buried the stuff on my desk. Let me just see what I can get to. So it's showing me that I want to stamp on. Oh, I missed my flutter guy. Just a minute. I need a little blue dude. I need this guy to go with it. So there's, yeah, all sorts of things. I get my dimensionals that I already have open. So it's showing that on the envelopes, they were stamping this little background stamp. And this little butterfly. And then this card has a for you on it because it's just got the little sentiment strip. Sometimes I just like to get the stamping out of the way and then you can just assemble. What are we doing for time? We're good. Oh, I don't really send things that say for you a lot. Maybe on a treat. This one says thank you, which I like better. So again, it's my kit. I can do what I want. There's no rules. So I'm going to make it say thank you instead of for you. Then, only because I like to keep my little Stampin' Spot sealed and I have all the stamp pads, we'll just pop this little guy out here and use the big guy instead of the little guy. Oh, look, let's start with a nice. The other side is quite well used, but we'll just start with this side. So as I tell you every time, photopolymer stamps get a little bit of a sheen or a film or something on them when you, excuse me, I need a beverage. I'm gonna have a little drink of water. In the manufacturing, they get like a bit of a coating on them. So you want to just kind of ink it up the first time and give it a couple little squishes so that you're not going to ruin your image on your cool envelope. And we're just going to stamp this in the corner like they did because why not? It looks cute. And then we're going to do the same thing with butterfly. Ooh, that stamped really well. Nice. Look at that. So that's just kind of how they showed it. So I'm just really copying them. I rarely do as I'm told, but for today, I'm going to show you to do as you're told. Well, I'm just going to show you that because it's easier than I like to go my own way, but I sometimes that means pondering. If I was going to do my own thing with this, I would lay all of them out and mix and match and decide which pieces I could use on other cards to stretch the kit. Yeah, just doing a little trimming job there. So we're going to do our same little thing here. Another drink of water. My stamp is very crooked on my block. Yep. Oh, perfect. 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 Put that away before I stick something in it. Same as mine. Okay, so I think I mentioned, they tell you on here. So this little strip, oops, push that too high. This little strip means you put tear and tape on the back. And these little, you can see the little, I wouldn't say rectangles, that's not the right word, 6 hexagons are the dimensionals. And so it shows you what they think you should pop up and down. So these two popped up, everything else is basically flat. Now, the one thing I was going to mention was the trick to vellum is to make sure you are clever when you place it. So the way this card is meant to go, nope, that's what goes down first. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love this little square. It's getting too covered up. Then we put the little pink guy down. So in this case, because when you put adhesive on vellum, you can see through it. Like if I, what did I do with my, I just took darn things out there. If I was to put, I'm gonna put it here because I know that's not gonna be seen, but see if I put my dimensional right there, you can see right through it. Same glue dots, tear and tape, you're gonna see a line. Now these are whiter than most, but even with tear and tape, you're gonna see where the strip of tear and tape is. So the trick is to put it where you know it's gonna be covered. So like in this case, this is gonna go like this, and my sentiment is gonna go here. So my sentiment is gonna cover it. So I can put something there because my sentiment's gonna cover it. The other thing you wanna do is put it underneath things. I think they had this one going over top. Yep, this way. Oops. Okay, so that's a little bit covered up. Let's just move that out of the way. I can't pick the darn thing up. I can put lots of adhesive behind this one because you can't see it, and then I stick it down, and it's going to hold this one as well. Right? This is going to get popped up on dimensionals. So if I wanted to, when I put this down, I could stick one of these, like right here even. And that's going to hold, like right out just on the edge. Let's go with, I'm going to move that over a bit, go right off the card. So this dimensional that's underneath is half on this piece and half on that piece. If you have no way to hide it very much, or you want to be able to see the whole thing, then you just need to make sure that the entire thing is covered in glue. So use your white glue, and you can use a sponge, or you can use the glue stick end. I don't actually know what it's called, but it's shaped like a glue stick, right? And it's got like a little curve to it, but something like that where you can spread the glue out. I have a little sponge dauber, a little piece of sponge that I keep in a separate little container that is not in arm's reach right now. And I can put it on my silicone mat and just kind of cover the whole back. And then when you stick it down, you can't see it because the whole back has the same sheen on it from the, right? So there's ways to do it. But yeah, in this case, I think they're probably just going to have it positioned where, because on their instructions, it said to put a little piece of tape where I put that dimensional. And so, yeah, you wouldn't see it because the other one's over top of it. Just a minute here, I just screwed up that dimensional. Okay. I am going to hurry myself up a little bit here. I'm going to stick all these down right now because I want to get to the next part. So there you go. It was in very short order. Look how pretty that card is. And like I said, it's sort of vintagey, bohemian, collagey. It's just, oh, the cards are super pretty. So you're going to make 8 of them, right? And they're all going to be slightly different. They're all going to be sort of flowers and flutterbys or plants. So let me find. I got the thing folded over so many different times. Now I did look, I don't know if you guys remember, on the back, there we go. It tells you the coordinating colors of the kit. So I was trying to find a coordinating color that also coordinated with my paper, and I didn't quite, but I think it's still going to work. Because these are, yeah, there's lots of greenery. They got lots of pecan and yellow, but they're really nice cards. So a couple suggestions. So you could make these cards if you wanted to make them for somebody. If you're giving them the kit, just give them the kit. They'll have lots of fun. But if you wanted to sort of pre-make them, you could also take this little sheet that I buried. Just a minute, let me find it. There we go. And you could stamp, like some of them are obvious. I don't know what I do with my stamp set though. Seriously, what did I do with the stamp set? I have no idea where I put it. Okay, I'm working in a very small spot. How the heck did I put the stamp set? Oh, there it is. Jeez. Okay, so like this little round one that says, I feel lucky to know you, fits perfectly in there. The for you does and the thank you does, but they don't really fill it very much. This one says thankful and grateful, and I appreciate your kindness. And we have 5 of them here. The same as this. You could fit the for you or the thank you. So you could go through, because there are what, 5, 10, 15. There's 15 labels for 8 cards. And just pre-stamp a bunch of these labels in the most obvious choices, or use other stamps if you have them. These are circles. I don't know if you can see that. And then these are just 2 small rectangles. So pre-stamp all the labels and maybe put them in a little bit better envelope than this, and put them in with the cards. And then, and even especially if you take them and you put dimensionals on the back of them, then when the person wants to, they'll have all the cards. Like if you put all the cards together the way they're supposed to go, like this, right? So you give them a card like this, and then when it's their time to send the card out, they look and they go, well, what do I want it to say? And they pick, because even if they pick the round label, you could make that fit in there, or you could pop it off to the side, right? So pre-stamping all the labels and giving it as a gift where they get to choose what the card says, because maybe they know somebody who would absolutely love this card, but they're not thanking them. They're saying, I appreciate your kindness, or I'm grateful for you, or I'm lucky to have you in my life, right? Like this is just, these cards are so pretty. You're going to look like a rock star sending them out. But I also think this kit makes a phenomenal gift. So I've made a whole bunch of these folders before, and I don't know where any of them are right now. I've been cleaning and sorting and purging and getting ready for the retired product sale. And I think they are somehow, you know, in there. But this is a great idea. I just forgot to get one piece of paper, so I'm just going to roll over to my papers. I don't know if I, well, once I finally get finished with this purge and moving all these things around, I'll have to do a tour of my craft room, because my new paper stuff that I got for Christmas is just phenomenal. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make a cover. So if you want to craft along, feel free to craft along. You don't know what you're making yet. That's the unfortunate part. But I'm making a little folder. I'm going to show you a couple sneak peeks too, that you can use to put your cards in. So if you pre-made them all, I'm using this rather bright piece because I want to use this paper, right? This is one of those, and this just happens to be the color that it goes with. See, I'm thinking on the fly. I like this color for certain things. I don't like this color for what I'm doing. And now that I see the cards and I realize they are more muted than that, I am changing the plan. Let me just just go with it. It's okay. I think we'll still have time. I just have to grab new papers. But that's okay, because that means I can use the ribbon I wanted to use too. I'm going to grab thick cardstock this time. Now, I'm pretty sure, because we're going to put layers on it, I'm pretty sure it will work the other way as well. But I'm going to do it with the thick just because then for sure it's going to work the way I want it to. So this is just regular sheets of cardstock, right? 8.5 by 11. So, and I'm hoping this is going to work out, because I was guessing based on previous experience, because again, I couldn't find them. You can do this where you just, like the original one I saw was just scored in half, and then there's scored a lip, right? And you fold it up. But when you have, like in this case, we're going to have 8 cards, right? So we're going to have 4 on this side and 4 on this side. Well, they're a little bit thicker. So when you fold the thing up, it's a bit bulky and awkward. So I designed one where I'm going to score at 5 and I'm going to score at 6. Okay, instead of scoring in the middle, you'll see why. And then I'm going to flip it one way. And because I previously did the math, going to score it at 1 3/4. At least I guessed the math. And I'm going to score it at 2.5. And I'll write this all down afterwards. Okay. And then I need to cut my paper. So the front of the, like once we get this done, so this is basically the front part. This square is 5 inches by 6 inches. So I'm going to cut this piece of paper because I like to have a bit of a reveal. I want this paper to be 5.5, which means I really should cut it this way by 4.5. I'm doing it as I go. I didn't write these measurements down. I'm just used to doing this, so I'm just going with it. I think I will probably cut another one for the spine, but I'll do that afterwards. So these are 4.5 by 5.5. And then I got all these bits and pieces. I'm still going to be able to use some of the bits and pieces. I'm just going to change a couple of things. So this other side of this is flowers. So right now I want to use the green side, but I want to be cognizant of the fact that this is how this paper goes, right? There's plants growing up in little leaves. So when I cut the piece off that I want, I'm just going to flip it so that I'm not totally ruining all the rest of the paper by cutting a big chunk out the wrong way. What did I just say? 4.5 by 5.5. So I'm going to go 4 1/4. These out of my way here. I'm going to go back to those because, like I said, I think I'm going to use some of the bits and pieces that are left over to put on the flaps and on the spine. But for tonight, I'm going to make the most of the actual form of the book. So these are 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I did that right. We're about to find out. So I like the skinny little, like not as big of a reveal, but for the ease of this, I'm given with the slightly wider little border. But and then I have an even wider little spot around it just because that's how I like it. So that's my front and my back. And I'm putting a front and a back because I want this to be durable. Okay, move those out of the way for now. So this is the folder itself. This is sort of a 3D item. So with most 3D items, you want to use your bone folder to burnish anyways. But in this case, I'm also using thick cardstock. So if you don't use your bone folder to burnish, it's not going to get as good of a fold on it because it is thicker cardstock. I use the thick cardstock for card bases. And occasionally I will use it for labels and that. If it's a big label on a card, sometimes I'll use it for that just so it has a little more. You don't have to put 27 dimensionals on it to get it to work. Okay, so we are going to miter the corners, right? So we're just going to take a bit of the bulk out. And so instead of just cutting this tab out, which I need to cut out anyways, I need to miter this. So I'm just doing it all at once. So I'm just going to miter this way. I might make these steeper, but for now, I just need them to be a little less so that when you go to fold this card in, these things aren't like running into each other. So I've just taken a bit of a corner out of here. You don't really need to miter the outside one for like functionality, but it looks better if they're both mitered than if you just miter one side. And yes, as you can tell, I just freehand it because, well, after a while you start getting good at it, but it's also just, it's easy to start like the same distance out and just sort of go to the corner. Okay, so then this next square up, we are going to, I'll make a picture afterwards. I have a picture on the side of my glass board. You just can't see it, and I can't move my glass board. Glass mat, not glass board. Here. So I will draw this out. I need to trim this little chunk out of the middle is what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to do it without cutting into the paper. So we'll just fold these pieces over. So I've mitered these two, and then this one I'm just cutting the tab out of, and I'm just following the score lines with my little scissors. So there, I took that little middle chunk out. So now you can see what I did, right? All I was doing was taking these out. So this score line, that this is the bottom, and then this is the two little tabs that I mitered. So these are going to fold up like this. I was guessing at the 3/4. I just realized something though. I made these 3/4. I did my math wrong. I'm going to fix that on the next one because I wanted to make sure it had enough room that the cards weren't getting overly squished. But I made this 1 and this should be 1.5 because now they don't quite fit the way they're supposed to. But I don't want to change this measurement because it's too big. So I'm going to fix this. You know what? I'm not going to fix this. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. Just a minute. Oh, I'm going to have to change the whole thing. Oh, I'm going to do it that way. I will fix the numbers for you. I will just do a quick make it work fix for you so that instead of 1 3/4, if these were 1.5, it would fold the way it was supposed to. Just so that I can show you what I'm going for here, and so I can show you the other pieces in person. I did that on the wrong side. I did the extra 1/4 inch. Instead of 3/4, it's supposed to be half, not the other way around. So. Yes, this is supposed to be, there we go. It doesn't matter if you followed what I was just doing. I'm just trying to fix my mistake so I can show you. I will put the right measurements on, and for now, let's say it's a little weird, but we'll go with it. So this is supposed to be half because the other one is 1, and I did them 3/4. I'm just guessing at how wide they need to be, anyways. 1/2 inch is probably more than enough. Okay, there we go. So now it folds properly like it's supposed to. That's what I wanted to show you. But like I said, I will do the right measurements when I put it on. So what we have now is our little folder, right? And instead of being just folded in half and making it bulky, we have this nice spine, which I will go afterwards. I'll show you the finished product. I'll recut it afterwards and then post a finished product. But when I go afterwards and put this on, I'm going to add a piece here as well. Right, like a strip down the middle, just because then it finishes up that side. You can take some of your scraps that you have left over and also put them on the front. And in this case, because I like the idea of giving this as a gift, I will take, let's go with this one, like a piece of this, and I'm going to put it on this front thing here, but I'm going to make it into a pocket so that the pre-stamped sentiments that they can use can go in the pocket. I might actually put a pocket on either side so it's not as bulky. But anyway, so you can decorate all the pieces. I'll show you that afterwards. And I'll give you all the measurements for doing that. But right now, this is the idea. These two halves fold in like this. And so you're going to put your cards in. Now, I have seen them done where people just fold them and tie a ribbon around the outside. But at a recent little team event that we were having, she showed us a better way to do it. That's where they're not flopping all over the place. And it's just genius. So here's your sneak peek. In March, there's some new online exclusives coming out. I can't. This is the trick to ribbon, right? You're supposed to squeeze the ribbon to make the little plastic thing pop up, and then you can snip your scissors underneath the plastic thing. I can't use my packaging scissors for this. I have no idea what's wrong with my voice tonight. I can't use my packaging scissors for this because they're too big. I need the little pointed tip. But this is narrow ribbon, so I'm having a heck of a time. There we go. Getting my fingers in to squish it. Because then you can do that. And then you get the ribbon up. So this is one. This is what's it called? There we go. It's just called white. That's not. It's kind of like a woven or linen. It's very pretty. Then yeah, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. It's either 1/4 or 3/8. I want to say 1/4 inch. So that's some new white ribbon that's coming out. We're going to use that. And then I didn't buy the stamp set, so this just says hole punch assortment on the thing. And I didn't buy the stamp set that goes with it, but I do love these punches. So I can't tell you what the stamp set's called, but look at these little guys. So before we had a triple tag punch that, sorry, all that noise, that made like different, like, you know, one of the three-way ones that you can punch. So these are three separate ones, but basically they're for making tags, or in this case, slits for the ribbon. So we got a straight one. This makes a great tag at the top. And then this is a 1/8 inch little circle, right? So that's awesome. If I was using twine, I would use this one. If I was using skinnier ribbon, I would probably use that one. And I'll show you more with that afterwards. But because I'm going to use the ribbon I'm using, I'm going to use this little one that makes like a little slit in it. Now, actually, I can do it on this because this is just going to be my sort of my sample. It's not going to be the one that I'm actually using. Oh, I just realized that. There we go. When you get a new punch, you really should punch it out on a different piece of paper, because sometimes there's oil on the punches from the manufacturing, and you don't want that on your card. So I'm eyeballing. I'm going in. I made this thing. How much? Why did I make it 5? And a card is 4 1/4. So I got 3/4 of an inch. So I'm good. I don't want to be too close to the end because I don't want it to rip. So I'm going to go in about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to punch. And I'm punching through both layers right now. So yeah, you can see it a little bit on here. There's a bit of a mark. I don't know if it's going to focus because there's a hole. There we go. You can see a bit of a mark. There's a bit of oil on it, right? So just take a piece of paper. It could even just be like photocopy paper, and just take your punch and punch a whole bunch of times until it cleans off the inside of the punch. Because there's not really a good way to do it, but you just don't want this marks on this piece of paper. So I'm realizing now that when you fold it in half, the other little system works better. That's okay. We're just going to put extra ones in. So I'm going to fold this over now. So you can see this is the spine. I'm going to fold this over. I probably should have put a pencil mark, but that's not really my style. I'm just going to eyeball. And punch through those 2 layers. The pieces are going everywhere. Then I'm going to flip it over this way. Oh, it's slightly crooked on the back side. I'm not quite sure how I managed. Oh, I must have had that folded slightly crooked. You're not going to notice that when the ribbon's in. I'm doing the same thing on this one. So I've just made some little slots for the ribbon. Okay. So what we're going to do, and we're going to need about probably it's a good like 20-25 inches. So let's just go with 25 as a rough guess. What I need to do, I need some cards that are not these cards though. Oh, here we go. I just want to show you something here. I just got to grab, I have my swap cards and various other cards over here on the thing. There we go. So the idea behind this, we're running out of time, is if I put these cards in here, so how many do I think I have more than 4. So we want it to fit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. So 4 cards and 4 envelopes is what we want to fit in here. So I'm about to knock everything on the floor there. I love these bees. I got bees all over my desk. I love them. Ooh, I made this just the right thing. Okay, so if we do this, and if we had just, so you can see we have like this little folder now, right? So if I had just tied this ribbon around the outside, for one, every time I opened it, it would fall out. You can put the ribbon on. I'll give you options, but I'm going to show you why this is cool. A lot of times this is how I've made it in the past, right? I put it like this. Now I can put this piece over top like this, right? And that holds the ribbon so it's not falling off, but it's just there. But when I open it, even with the outside ribbon, when I open it, there's nothing holding these cards in, right? Like they're sliding side to side. They'll come out the ends, the ends when it's open. So what this ribbon does, that the lovely Diane showed us, is, and I'm doing it this way because if I don't, I won't remember. So what I want is I want it to come out. I want to go this way. I want this to come out on this side. what I want is this ribbon to go. I'm going to move these now because I figured out what I'm doing. Over top of the cards. So I'm going to go over. I don't actually need both of these. I just needed one, but I realized that by doing it by putting a wider spine on it, I ended up with them going that way. So I'm just going to weave these in and out though. Oh, added bonus. I'll show you the added bonus I just figured out. By doing this, sometimes seriously, happy accident, right? Because I just figured out the best reason why this is going to be even better than if it hadn't worked out this way. Okay, so we're going this way. So we're weaving. We're going in and out. And I'm going to find out if this 25 is long enough. So hopefully you didn't cut yours yet, because I'm having a feeling it's not. Okay, so here's what I'm going to show you though. Look at this happy accident. We'll see if it holds in or not. It's not really in the right spot to like clip the pen onto, but we'll see if it works. It goes in. If not, we'll just pull it flat. But okay, so now, there we go. So now I've got all my stuff in. Well, 25 might be the right amount. I don't think that's going to hold. If you had one of the little mini pens, you could clip it in there. Right. So now when we close this and we tie it up, right. So we've got, it's a bit more, this is really floppy right now because there's no decor on it. So you can see these little pieces, like you'll see the ends of them, but that's no big deal. But you can see, I'll take my bow out of the way. But you can see how they're holding the cards in place, right? They're holding the sides. They're not going to slide out. So now when I open them up, I've got this nice little ribbon in front holding my cards in. And when I pull my card out, see bees, we're loaded with bees. They're still in there. So doing it with the ribbon this way is just genius, as opposed to just putting it on the outside. Okay. And like I said, we on purpose, I got to recut this thing because I'll fix my measurements on there. I did it on purpose. I cut 2 of these. Right. So one goes on the front and one goes on the back, because that's given this whole folder some stability. And then I wanted this to be able to go with this set of cards, right? Our little cards that we're going with. So you could, if you were making cards from scratch, you could totally just make extra of whatever the cards were looking like and make the outside match exactly. In this case, I want to use this for the kit. I don't have the exact match, but like I said, green and various colors and florally and some flutterbys. So I'm going to, so that's slightly crooked. I got my hand stuck to it. I'm going to use this. And you could do tear and tape on this if you wanted to, but this is not getting a lot of torque on it or anything. So seal or white glue or whatever is going to work just fine on this. Oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. Okay, because I was just going to show you an idea without actually putting it together, because I got to recut this part. Well, I guess we're doing it now. This will be my sample with. I'm pretty sure I can cover most of the lines, so I'm doing that now because I put the stuff on it. Okay. The other thing I wanted to remind you of, though, I'm going to put a little strip on here, and then we have so many different options for dies. I was just going to put a little strip of flowers. I'm going to put them that color. Goes there. Oh, you know what? Seriously, I eyeball everything. You know what I think is better than 1 strip of flowers? 2 strips of flowers. That was the same size. So I'm going to put 2 little strips on here, because we have flowers on the inside too. And then I don't know what I'm going to write on it. It depends what you want. If you want to put like a big banner on the front, or you could put just one of the tiny little ones. If you were giving this as a thank you thing, maybe you just write this. Maybe just put a little thank you here. And I like these little like strips, right? And then this is its own strip. But the other thing I wanted you to remember, and I don't have a full package. This is all I have left. But we still have in our little online store, I don't think they show up in any catalogs, but they still show up in the online store. And you get a whole bunch of them. But they come in like a big sheet to begin with. Mine are, like I said, this is all I have left. We have these really pretty butterfly die cuts. And we have the little side view, but because I think a lot of these are this way, I'm just going to pop one of these guys. I'm going to put them on like this. So I've got a butterfly on the outside. Actually, I'm going to put the thank you down there because otherwise it's too much white there. And then I'm going to figure out what colors. Where's the in colors? What did I just do with those? The ones that I really like. Oh, I found my dies. Those are the dies. Look at how good those dies are. Somewhere in here. The ones I want are they're out of stock right now, waiting to come back in. There we go. These are super popular because they're so pretty. But I can take these, and I'm actually just going to take. I'll take your pick tool. I'm going to put one in there for his little head, and then take the bigger ones. Oops, going too fast. Those little guys down there. Just you can have a little bit of shimmer shake on your front. So now we have the front of our little box, and it matches. And it's not too like it's not the exact color of the inside because I couldn't find the right color combinations that worked for me. But this is just a really pretty folder, which is not all taped down. And when they open it up, they're going to find 8 of these cards. So like I said, I'm going to finish this up tonight. I realize we're over time already. And I'm going to do the inside with the little pockets, and I'm going to show you what I mean by putting little pockets so you can have the sentiments in them. And then I think this makes a great gift. And this is just a couple pieces of cardstock. Boom. You have a lovely holder for your to gift out. So thank you guys very much. Sorry I went over by 10 minutes. Remember, Thursday is the deadline for the birthday class. I need paid registrations so that I can order the stuff. I don't know if that's 7 times or not, but I feel like I've said it a lot. And then, given that I was just like winging it as I was going, I quite like how that worked out. Friday is the deadline for the surveys. Please fill those out. Those will help greatly in figuring out what we're going to offer and what we're going to do. And then I will be doing a post. I might decide to do a live, but it also depends where did I put my stuff. I potentially Thursday, Friday might have plans, so it'll really depend on how that all pans out. But if nothing else, I will at least have a post on Friday with my Mission Monday projects, and then you guys can add your post there. I'll post a couple other things in the meantime too, a couple of little reminders and such. And oh my goodness, and this funniest joke, I meant to do it before, but I thought, no, I got to go get ready for class. But some of the little things I find are just, they're too funny. So I think I might do some like afternoon merriment. I got a couple of them saved up that I want to send out. So yeah, possibly live Friday. If not, I will post the thing on Friday. But yes, please, surveys and registrations Thursday, Friday, end of the week, so that I can move forth with plans and make things work for you guys. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.